Good afternoon, everyone. Let me just acknowledge how honored I am to be up here before you all. You know, as I look out at such an overwhelming crowd, I have this odd, mixed feeling. But see, it's not just me having that feeling because I'm up here speaking, because there's that same feeling in each and every one of the graduates sitting here. It's that feeling of excitement, exhilaration, hope, but then again uncertainty, perhaps even fear as well. Whether we like to admit it or not, change has begun. My mommy's not going to do the laundry anymore. But in all seriousness, we're growing up. We're on the verge of complete independence. We've risen to that position where now we are the sole decision makers of our daily routines, our career paths, in essence, our lives. That's quite some freedom, but quite some responsibility as well. So it's only natural that thoughts of the future, the road ahead, consciously and subconsciously, begins to infect every corner of our minds. And that factor of uncertainty about the future is what in many brings about fear. You see, to most, the greatest source of fear is knowledge that in this intangible and utterly confusing thing we call life, there is no concrete guidebook, no roadmap, no innate expectations or outlined objectives. And ironically enough, it's that lack of absolute clarity, that freedom, that actually serves to confine. But it doesn't have to be that way. Instead, it's that absence of limitation that enables each of us to pursue our own unique passions. It allows for a definition of success that can be different to every single one of us. That allows our capability to be virtually unending. So it's not that the objective of life is concealed from us. It's that we have the privilege of selecting that objective for ourselves. So ask not where life is going to take you, but instead ask where you are going to take your life. Because that is a question that ultimately we do hold the answer to. Sure, there are things beyond our control, but you must never worry about that. Instead, wholeheartedly apply yourself to all that is within your power. And I guarantee that you'll be amazed to discover all that you are able to affect. You see, we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails. And that is enough to take us where we want to go. And during that journey, there exists inevitable stumbling blocks, barriers, misfortunes. But understand that everything in life is ultimately for the best. That the seemingly whimsical course of fate, stained with its apparent blemishes, is actually the site of some sort of absurd perfection. Learn to see that perfection within the imperfection. And to do that, you must realize the need for the coexistence between triumph and tragedy. By nature, this inseparable duo. Each of which serves to define the other. After all, could darkness be truly understood without having experienced light? So the tragedies, those imperfections, and even failures are not the sign when one should give up, but the world's indication for the need to innovate, to improve, and to approach differently. They inspire thought and learning, because mistakes and challenges are nothing more than lessons and opportunities in disguise. Be able to see through that disguise. And so never regret the past, but learn from it. And push forward into the future with a passion, confidence, and sincerity, so that you never have to regret. Look around and observe that we are not all created equal. That we don't all start with the same abilities, the same physical capacity, the same status, the same luck, the same opportunities, or a myriad of other things. See that not everyone our age, for example, has the chance to study at such a high-caliber school, to be supported by such a concerned and dedicated community, to have all the resources that we've had at our disposal, to be supported by teachers that are committed to our advancement, to have families that care, to not have to worry about our next meal or whether we'll even be still alive by the end of the day. And even the circumstances among each of us here are different. But as you look at all these inequities, take heart. For what matters in life is not where we begin, but in which direction we're headed. So occasionally, look not just up at your desires, but all the fortunes imparted upon you, and make sure that nothing is ever taken for granted. Embrace humility, for despite the greatest potential, the world intrinsically owes us nothing. And the riches granted in 1 second may dissipate in the next. We're free to ask and seek all that we can. But the world is never kind to an arrogance that believes it has absolute control. It seems only natural that as we embrace this new segment of our lives, we still crave, we're still curious. We want to be able to peer into our own futures. Even if it were just for a second, a brief preview. But let me assure you that what the crystal ball hides is insignificant. On this grand road of life, the overwhelming question is not what tomorrow will bring, but rather whether we, the travelers on that road, choose to trudge along or run, when or whether at all to stop, and if or when to succumb to the tempting acres to the sides. You see, the road is limitless. We set the limit. Friends, thank you for 4 amazing years and for an unforgettable high school experience. Well, that has graciously come to an end. Never forget it. Never forget that we cross paths here, and however it is that we may disperse, no matter where it is that we take our lives, regardless of how far along life's road we choose to travel, always keep in touch. I challenge you, I urge you, I ask you. And throughout your life, let passion and sincerity be the forces that direct you. Dare to ask the questions to the unanswerable, but then seek those answers. Revel in discovering not just how, but why. And in everything you do, from the things negligibly small to the momentously large, unleash the beast that is within you all. Thank you so much.